You're listening to the Snyder-Collin podcast, presented by FPP Broadcasting, I guess.
This week's episode is sponsored by cats, because everything cats is better than the world.
I have a black cat.
I have one too.
He's a chubby boy.
President. Oh, man. Yeah. As you can see what I'm on today, just like we on every other day, go get it. Get to the bag music, Cool kid trap music type shit, I'm a rare individual, cut off your hand if it's killing you. You gotta stand on your tippy don't take. I got cool like I'm Pooty. She give me tame, then I sleep on her booty. Bought me a house, turn that bitch to a cutie. I'm flying, I elevate. I got problems, an open case. My little bro got it first, baby, on the way. In the trap, so you know what we on the date. In the trap, so you know what I'm on the.
Anyways,
hello.
Welcome
everyone.
to the show.
Yep, that's that's the introduction.
We actually have a show this week because last week we weren't able to even upload any podcasts at all.
You're right.
So it's good to be back.
The podcast just wasn't paying the bills, so we had to leave the lights off for a week.
We had to hustle a little bit, put the podcast on hold.
You're right.
Go work those corners.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I pimped out Jacob, which was so easy to do with Jacob.
You wouldn't even believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this week we're joined by my lovely girlfriend, Alex Garcia.
Hi. Yay. Oh, a round of applause. That's
Yes.
so nice.
Yes.
We've also never had a female on the podcast, so
You're
that's
right.
another first.
You're right. Well, it
Gosh.
is 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It's about time.
You're right. I don't remember what episode this is. This is 29?
Still
Yeah.
getting paid less than you guys.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
well, do you want to? Do you want to count the mini-sode as an episode? I don't.
No, I don't count that.
Count as half episode. So now you've done
How is it half
28
an
and a
episode,
half
though?
episodes.
Because that...
It was like a nugget of an episode.
Yeah. Because if it's half an episode, I mean, that's probably proportionally correct. My mouth is very dry. I'm fine. I don't want to drink after you.
I offered him my water. This is an audio format, so you couldn't
Yeah.
see me jiggle my water bottle at him.
Yeah. If the minisode counts as half an episode, that means then that... Because it was like 2 minutes long, and our average episode time's about 2 hours, so that means the one half of it is 2 minutes, and then the other half is an hour and 58 minutes. And that's probably true, because there's about 2 minutes of good quality content in each episode, and an hour 58 of just total shit. And here we are. Welcome to the whatever this is.
All right, Alex, to get you warmed up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw some questions at you.
Okay.
All right. I'm coming up with these at the top of my head. A good way to break the ice to get you warmed up into the podcast flow. All right, it's gonna be lots of fun. So,
Oh, man.
so take a deep breath. Yeah, there we go. All right. First question: Stephen King or Dean Koontz?
Oh my god.
Stephen King.
All right.
Do you even know who Dean Koontz is?
No.
All right. Stephen King. Skinny jeans or normal pants?
Skinny jeans.
High tops or low cut shoes?
Low cut.
Let's see here. Damn it.
These first four were like
all right.
very quick.
All right.
Why were these on your mind? Did you write these down
No,
beforehand?
I've seen other people do similar things in a podcast, and
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it was a good idea.
What podcast? If you don't mind me getting credit.
26 shots of moods?
You're cheating on this podcast?
Yes.
I didn't even know you listened to other podcasts. I didn't even know you knew what a podcast was.
Yeah.
If I'm totally honest.
All right. Anyways, Alex, Jaeger bombs or tequila shots?
Tequila shots.
Pixar or DreamWorks animation?
Oh, this is tough.
I think Pixar.
Pixar. All right. Good. That would be my choice too.
I would say so, yeah.
That one's hard because
right.
I love How to Train a Dragon. How to Train My Dragon. Or Your Dragon. Whatever.
But see,
dragon.
like, Shrek. I think Shrek, and like, Shrek's great. You remember it being great. It doesn't age that well.
Shrek 1 is better than Shrek 2.
The,
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
definitely.
Shrek's the best one. And then
It
there's a
is.
Shrek the musical.
Have you seen the
there.
Shrek musical?
I've seen parts of it.
Is
It's on
is
Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a version of that on Netflix?
Yeah.
I know they did I think a community version in Quincy. And a guy that I went to high school with, he played Shrek.
Really? What's
Yeah.
his name?
Jacob Godwin?
I had a moment there. I thought it was me.
Friend of the pod. I think he might be a fan on our Facebook page.
Really good for him.
He might be. He might.
So, in a roundabout way, you're telling me that Shrek is a fan of this podcast?
Thank God.
Mike Myers is a fan of this podcast?
Austin Powers.
Yeah, and his green,
The man.
his green heart. He has some love for the
Love Guru.
Snyder-Collin podcast.
You remember the Love Guru? Do you remember that movie?
It came out a long time ago. I do remember it. I don't think I saw it.
I didn't see it either.
It's probably for the best. None of us have seen it. I heard it's bad.
You remember Slagle?
Slagle, like our manager.
Yeah, that
Slagle?
we used to work
Yes.
with. Yeah, he said he liked that movie.
Of course.
Really?
Yeah, I remember he said it was like hilarious or something, and I was just kind of like, yeah. Whatever you say, Slaggy. All right, a few more questions, Alex. I'm gonna use one of these questions to segue.
Okay.
So, all
Oh,
right,
Sweet.
what is your favorite horror movie? If you have a favorite horror movie, if you don't like horror movies, then what's your favorite movie that has a spooky aesthetic?
well, I don't like horror movies, but a spooky.
So you don't like any. So you don't like any
I like
horror movies
I'll
at
watch
all.
something that's like thriller or kind of psychological, but I don't like things jumping out at me
Okay,
or like
that's fair.
faces. I guess
Thriller counts then in this case. Okay.
I'm trying to think of
It's
movies.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's not a scary movie.
It has a spooky aesthetic.
Spooky
though.
aesthetic.
I
That's
do
what I was
love that
thinking.
movie, but
I
I
do
wouldn't
too.
count it. I definitely have seen scarier. I think. I'd like to think.
You know, Nightmare Before Christmas, it's still a bit like, it's definitely a little creepy.
It's got its
with
elements in there
with
of
its
horror.
like design. It's overall like a bit grotesque. I can't really see a kid being like frightened by it though. Maybe a really, really little kid who's just like, what's darkness?
I know when I was growing up, my friends. I grew up in a very Mormon town,
Oh, really?
and we were not Mormon, but my Mormon friends were not allowed to watch that movie.
Ooh, I could see that. It makes it's Christmas, and they're like, oh, it's demonizing Christmas or something like that.
Kind of.
Quick question. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
I like it as a Halloween movie more. I don't watch it during Christmas time.
Well, I think it goes both either ways, but I think the movie is generally more about Christmas.
Yeah, because it's about Jack discovering his love
Yeah.
of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I used to not like that movie at all.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it when I was like maybe 8 or 9, and I was like, oh, it's a stupid musical. I don't like musicals. I'm a boy.
You know what?
Like, that was my
That's
mentality. Like, I was like, oh, there's songs. Ugh.
I
Just
still
get on
find
with it.
I still find myself breaking like out of things from your youth, like not your youth, but my youth, that like I don't know, molds that were set prior to my adult life, like that. You know what I mean? Like musicals. Oh, musicals are, I don't know, what do kids say? Musicals are gay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
And then,
pretty
like-
much in a blunt way.
Yeah, and then now you're like, oh wait, musicals are great. Like they're
Yeah,
awesome.
it's funny how you like change, you know.
Yeah.
Not that I like love every musical, but the songs in A Nightmare Before Christmas are really good,
They are.
and they serve a purpose and like help tell the story.
You have to find your musical that kind of guides you into it. Like, I think you guys would like Book of Mormon, but that's made by the people who did
South Park. I've heard a few of their songs. I'd be interested in seeing Book of Mormon.
It's good.
Yeah.
Do you want to go, Colin?
It's going to be playing in Los Angeles at the Pantages Theater during the summer.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
That's quite a
Colin and
commitment.
Jacob go to Los Angeles. It sounds like a Drake and Josh movie. What was it? Drake and Josh Go Hollywood? Is that a thing?
that was a movie, but it was weird because like the movie didn't have the laugh track in it, like the TV show did, but it was still like, not shot, but it was still paced like it had the laugh track. Like they tell a joke and it would be like silent, and it was really bizarre. Like it was super
amazing.
weird that they left out the laugh track. They might have done it like last minute or something.
That's weird.
I don't even remember that.
See, I don't remember that specifically, but now that I look back on the movie, that's totally true.
I would have to watch the
'Cause-
movie. I don't even remember the movie.
It wasn't as
It's a
good
big
as
deal.
the TV episodes.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Like,
Drake and Josh was
That was a
something-
good
kind
show.
of a great show.
That
Yeah,
was a
it
great- yeah.
was. Okay, you're a big Drake and Josh fan, hey Alex?
I did like Drake and Josh.
It was. I'd say it was the best Nickelodeon like live action show aside from all their cartoons. Definitely.
Well, I mean, you still got to take into account like Ned's Declassified was really great.
Yeah,
I think I love that one more.
Really?
Than
Yeah.
Drake and Josh.
What?
There's all those seasons of, well, let's not forget the king himself, Drizzy Drake on Degrassi.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a Nickelodeon show.
They
It
just
aired on
Originally.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
I think they bought it.
Yeah, they just played it because it was Canadian.
It's Canadian.
It
Yeah.
counts.
I never watched Degrassi. I know my sister did.
Oh, I watched all of Degrassi.
All of it.
Zoe 101.
That show sucked.
Yeah,
I love
I'm with
Zoe
Alex.
101.
That show sucked.
It's
I
like-
liked it.
It was like what I was just talking about, the Drake and Josh Go Hollywood movie, where
It didn't have a laugh
it didn't
track.
have a laugh track, but it was still like paced as if it had one,
Okay,
and it was
see,
really awkward.
I kind of liked it because, like, as a kid, I guess I was like, "Wow, the show's so weird and quirky," and it was just kind of bad. And so, even like as a kid, I thought like, "Oh, that's so strange that it doesn't have a laugh track." It just felt weird, but I liked how weird it felt.
But it's not the first show. I mean, some of their older stuff, Nickelodeon, like Alex Mack or
Was that the girl who turned into liquid goo?
that didn't have a
The secret world of
Yeah.
Alex Mack. I remember that show
And then-
very, very vaguely. She was like the T-1000. She turned into like liquid
She
metal.
turned into liquid. That was like her
Yeah.
power, and she would go and kind of solve crimes, but not really. She'd figure out there's something always wrong in an episode. And she's like, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
figure it out.
I just remember it being on very early in the morning,
Yeah.
like before school, when I was like maybe 6. There's also Clarissa Explains It
Marissa
All.
explains all with
Nah.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah, na, 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 na. I just remember that opening where she's like drawing
like
out,
the spelling out the
yeah,
words,
spelling out
yeah.
the words.
Is that what's influenced Honestly Dav's intro?
Clarissa Explains It All.
Mhm.
David's just like, he's like, honestly, it's like actually one of my favorite shows.
That's kind of a not bad David impression. He's just kind of quiet.
Just honestly,
Honestly, like,
I love-
yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah,
I love Melissa Joan Hart.
I work
big
at
crush on her.
Moe's.
She was Sabrina, right? The
Sabrina the
Teenage
Teenage
Witch.
and they're making a new one.
They're making another Sabrina show.
hmm
Is she going to be in it?
I don't know that much. I know they've already casted the girl Sabrina. Some girl, I don't know.
Is it going to be about like, oh, adult Sabrina and her teenage daughter witch?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's like
Katrina.
like so it's like a whole new thing. I watched a little bit of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I
I just
watched
remember
it.
the cat puppet.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Salem,
He talked.
Salem.
he was good.
Who was he voiced by? Is it like
Bradley Cooper.
was it
No.
No.
Was it like what's his name? Martin Mull?
I don't know.
No.
I
I
don't know.
feel like it
Robert
was
De
someone-
Niro. Do an impression.
Hey Sabrina, you talking to me? Sorry, I keep.
Al Pacino. Jesus, could you squeak that chair anymore?
What were some other fun Nickelodeon shows?
Do we want to go out of live action now and go into cartoon? There are a lot more.
Like all real monsters. Or
I-
Rocket Power.
I'm gonna go some more obscure choices.
Rocket Power.
The
That was a-
Fairly
that
Odd
was a-
Parents.
I-
Super obscure.
I used to watch Rocket Power probably like every
I watched Rocket
single
Power probably every day.
It
Yep.
was on every day.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Tito and the Ancient Hawaiians, Otto, Reggie, Twister, and Squid. Is that what they called him?
I think so. Yeah, I think Squid.
Squid, yeah.
And the whole
Some-
woogity woogity woogity.
Just to
I
make...
have no idea what the show is.
What?
No,
you never saw
no.
Rocket Power?
No.
It took place in like
Collin, I wasn't even born yet.
Oh my god.
you were sperm. It was basically it took place
Jesus.
in Hawaii or California.
Some beach town.
Yeah, and it was just about these like kids who are extremely good at every extreme sport. They could
Skateboarding, rollerblading,
Yeah,
surfing.
biking.
hmm
They're all good at them, and like that was just the basic premise. And other than that, it was just like a cartoon show with like
And their dad owned like a burger place right on the
Mhm.
pier on the
Yeah.
beach.
Hmm.
but they were all most of them the three kids, they were all of like Islander descent.
Yeah.
Kinda, I think it was alluded to. I think Twister was Spanish.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Because he
I
had an
think-
older brother, and I
yeah.
remember their mom
Mhm.
speaking Spanish in the episode.
So it was like they were like Pacific Islanders or something. Had that vibe to it. You know?
Sure.
It was a fun show. I rewatched it, and it's it was made for kids.
Mhm.
You know, it doesn't play out to an adult at all. But it was an extreme show. This was back when like Tony Hawk was huge,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and extreme sports were like at their peak, and like all kids thought it was just like the coolest thing. X Games, skateboarding, BMX biking, all that stuff. Which now, I don't think it's not nearly as popular as it was,
Kids are
especially with
more-
young kids.
Yeah, young kids are more like into.
Logan Paul.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
He's their Tony Hawk.
It's funny you say Tony Hawk because I'm remembering the Drake and Josh Go Hollywood film. Let's go back to that for a minute. And Tony Hawk
Right.
has a cameo in it.
He does?
Yes. And it's the stupidest fucking cameo. I will detail it for you. Basically, he's getting out of the hotel that Miranda Cosgrove is staying at. Because doesn't she get on the wrong flight or something?
Yeah, it's like Home Alone kinda. She's
Yeah.
like away from Drake and Josh, like in a hotel or something.
Mhm,
I don't
yeah.
remember the plot, except there was like an iPod. Well, it wasn't really an iPod. It was like a cheap piece of shit.
It was like the
The
it was like
iZod,
a pear,
the iZod, the Pear phone or
the
something.
pear pod
I know what you're talking about with the Pear.
Yeah.
It showed a computer like the MacBook, but it had
with
a
pear
pear.
instead.
Yeah.
It's really
They did that on Zoe 101, too.
Dude, the Dan Schneider
Sh-
TV
it's-
universe.
Yep, it's a shared universe.
Yeah.
It's as vast as the Marvel universe, I'd say. But yeah.
My God.
I think I'd agree.
But like a really nice car pulls up to the hotel, and Tony Hawk himself, professional skater, walks out of the car and he's like, "Here, kid, park it in the red." I don't know what he says, and a guy catches the keys and is like, "Okay."
You really remember
That's
this.
it. That's all he says. There's probably more to it, but I remember it's got a cool moment of Tony Hawk getting out of a cool car. Which, why would you not have him skating up?
Park my skateboard.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But Tony Hawk was the coolest guy like ever
Yeah.
for kids,
Ugly
not
guy
people.
too.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's not a
hideous.
very good-looking guy.
Hideous guy.
He looks like he's been, like, beat up a bunch of times, and that's just...
by a bunch of skate punks like in the 70s. Got beat up with some skateboards.
He looks like a skate punk.
Yes.
He looks like a skate punk who hasn't aged well, which is exactly what he is.
He always looked tired.
Yeah,
He always looked sleepy.
he's just like, man, I've just been skating all day.
Mm-hmm.
And he has kids, too.
Yeah,
Oh, he's a millionaire too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, most of his profits obviously were from the Tony Hawk's Underground video games and the Tony Hawk Pro Skater and the Tony Hawk Skate World and the Tony Hawk.
He has like a
Other
he has
game?
like a clothing line.
Yeah,
Skateboard
Let's
merchandise.
say, if he doesn't sell skateboards, I don't know what he's doing.
Probably has a million sponsorships. He's probably been in plenty of commercials, TV shows.
He's probably
Plus-
won money in you said sponsorships, like money from being in the X Games. and-
Yeah,
his
exactly.
royalties from the Drake and Josh Go Hollywood film.
Yeah, probably,
yeah.
he probably gets like $1,000 every time it's aired on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
You know, they also did the Drake and Josh Christmas movie.
I didn't see that.
I don't remember this
it,
one.
It was bad. It didn't have the laugh track, and it was awkward.
It had probably featured Drake Bell singing a Christmas song with his guitar.
All I want for Christmas is you. He's playing it with his band,
Yeah.
just like that. Just like that.
Oh, and the Drake and Josh Go Hollywood movie featured a weird subplot about counterfeiting money.
Yeah,
And
there's,
also
bumbling
Drake-
bumbling thieves wearing all black or something.
Yeah.
You guys
group of
really
them.
remember this
I remember
movie.
this film. just because it's so many different movies wrapped up into one that it's like, what is this thing?
It's Drake and Josh. It's like Home Alone. It's like Big Fat Liar because they go to L.A.
Gosh, I remember that one.
I like
that's Paul Giamatti painted blue.
That one's got Amanda Bynes and
Frankie Muniz. Dude,
God.
I love Paul Giamatti. He is a great actor.
I think his best performance is the Amazing
Spider-Man
Spider-Man 2.
I knew you were going with that.
He just goes for it, and no one else goes for it in that entire movie.
It's like screaming.
Yeah, he's just like, ha 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 ha, I am the Rhino! And no one else is really contributing that much to the film. I think he's amazing. There's a scene where his underwear, or his pants get pulled down, and he's wearing rhinoceros underwear. I'm stuttering a lot today. He's wearing like rhino underwear. It's beautiful. True comedy.
Did you see this with Cole?
Yeah.
So were you just like sitting in the theater and you lean over, you're like, that's comic accurate. This movie's amazing, Cole.
Do your impression of me to Alex.
Oh, okay. In the server alley at work, Jacob will be like making a Coke or something. He won't be looking at me. He'll be like, in the comics, Magneto's pretty darn neato.
It kills me.
And I'm just kind of like, yeah. And he like starts telling me his backstory and everything. And that's when I tune out.
And you don't ask for it. You don't ask for the backstory. He just goes on.
I just tune out and nod my head. And I'm like, yeah, I'll read all these comics one day.
Hey, do you want me to do my impression of you?
Yes.
All right. Anybody is standing anywhere doing something more important.
Let's just say you're shopping at Publix.
Yeah. So you're shopping at Publix, and a Publix worker is walking by. Let's say it's me, for the sake of continuity. It's me. And I'm doing something more important than whatever it is you want to talk to me about. And I'm walking to a place, and you go, so that new Cloverfield movie, huh? That new Cloverfield movie, huh? And I'm like, shut the fuck up, Collin. I can't talk about this right now. And then you...
Fuck you, Jacob.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Collin. But then, like...
Get on with it.
You just blinked for the longest time. Like, you just contemplated everything. You're like, is this podcast right for me? But yeah, that's pretty much what you do. And then you keep on doing it. Where, like, I'll be getting, I don't know, like, some sauce. I'll need to bring some sauce to a table. And then you're like, yeah, so the Disney Fox deal, like, that's pretty crazy. And I'm like, I can't talk about negotiations of film right now.
I always bring it up the wrong time.
Yes. And it's like, I know you have good intentions. And I'm typically a pretty nice guy. But fuck. Like, pick better times.
Fine.
We stand around for hours on end at work a lot of times. Just do it then. Be sure to swallow that as close to the mic as you can.
Oh, sorry.
Take another sip, please.
So, enough jibber jabber.
Oh, God.
So, Alex, you're a pretty big anime fan, aren't you?
Yes, I would consider that true.
I don't
lobbing up questions.
I don't know if we ever talk about anime too much.
We've talked about.
Have we?
We talked about Akira.
Oh yeah, that's right. Other than that, I don't think I've ever even brought up anime once to you, Jacob. Not once, never.
I mean, that's probably not true.
No, we don't talk about anime.
Yeah, you're right. I don't really actually like things that aren't American. I don't know what it is. It's just like I don't respect them if they're not made in America.
So, Alex, being the bigger anime fan out of the three of us, when were you first introduced to Japanese animation?
I look at it as 2 points in my life. Well, when I was younger, coming home from school, there was Sailor Moon on and like Dragon Ball Z. And I remember watching that, but then it wasn't until I discovered a website full of anime openings, and that's what they called them. And I just went through and I watched a bunch of videos that were only 30 seconds long of animes.
Just intros?
Yeah, intros. And I just watched that all day long, and then it just kind of exploded from there. And then Adult Swim had like Inuyasha and Cowboy Bebop and Trigun on it. And
late at night, like past 11 on what, like Saturdays and
Like Fridays
Sundays?
and Saturdays,
Yeah,
they
'cause-
would do it.
because during the weekday it was like Western animation, like Family Guy,
Mhm.
Futurama on Adult Swim back then. Yeah, Sailor Moon, that's definitely really popular with females. I'd never seen it before, but I've always like known about it or anything. Is it more of like a guilty pleasure, or is it like this great like
It's not great.
Yeah, like
It's not.
isn't every episode kind of the same?
Yeah, every episode, every season there is, except the old Sailor Moon, because they've made a new one. They've completely reanimated a new one and have re-voice casted it, and it's coming out. I think the 3rd season's about to come out, or it's already out. But the old 90s one, there was 4 seasons, and yeah, basically every episode was the same thing over and over again.
Didn't they use the same animation whenever she like changed into like
Pretty
her
much, I mean-
magical sailor outfit or whatever?
Pretty much every episode started where it's fun and whatever, they're friends or they're arguing about food or boys, and then the next clip is like the villain doing something, and then he releases the whatever it is into the city, and then they figure it out. They're like, oh, something's wrong, we should go investigate, and they go investigate, and then during the investigation they're like, oh, we should transform, and they transform, and then they save the day, and that's the end of the episode. That's every episode.
Every single episode.
I feel like I've seen the whole season.
Pretty
or the
much.
whole series.
Until you get to like the end of the season where it's like you meet the actual villain that's doing everything, and then they fight the villain and they still win.
Doesn't she fall in love with the villain?
No.
Oh, never mind.
She does have a main character. Does have a boyfriend.
Okay, gotcha.
Tuxedo Mask.
Is the main character Sailor Moon?
Yes.
Yeah, she
Hence
has like
the name of the anime. Is
Okay,
She has, like,
all
long
right.
blonde
Well,
hair.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay.
You
I
could
didn't,
either in
I didn't need
they
the
changed
toad.
the names in the English when they did the English voiceover. They changed her name, and everyone else's and his name. So like in Japanese, the Japanese one, it was Usagi and I can't remember his name, Minoru or something like that. And then in English, they changed her name to Serena and his name to Darian.
That's not bad for changing for a Western audience. It's not like, oh, her name's Lisa.
But it's weird. They did it then for that anime. I mean, they never did it for like, I don't know. Did they do it for Cowboy Bebop? I don't think they did. I think they have all the same names. But
like Spike,
yeah, Spike,
Jet,
and Jet. I think it's all the same. Probably Spike.
Ed.
Does Cowboy Bebop play well for a Western audience?
Yes.
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 It does. That might be why they have names like Spike and Jet.
Spike Spiegel, Jet Black.
I always really like it when Japan takes on like Western style stuff. They always do it in a very unique approach.
I do too.
Well, for me, the way I'm talking about this is in video games.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like-
you're right.
Like Resident Evil, all those games take place in America, and like American characters. Dark Souls is an RPG, but it's like Western fantasy style. I'm trying to think what else. Just, I don't know. I think that's a very interesting approach instead of just, having it all play out to people who aren't just anime fans. So sometimes they do that. Maybe Cowboy Bebop kind of does that. I've never seen the show. I'm just guessing. It's called Cowboy. That's pretty Western.
I mean,
Can't get more Western than a cowboy.
I think it's one of those things where it's named a thing, but like I
Has
don't know if
nothing
it
to do with-
totally
Yeah, it doesn't really have anything to do
Oh,
with it.
really?
Like,
because Spike every now and again is like, oh, well, I'm your classic cowboy or whatever, and he's not really a cowboy.
and he ends, or does he end every episode? He's like, "See you, Space Cowboy," or something. Or
Yeah,
maybe
they
that's
do.
the last episode. I can't remember. But
They do say that. The last episode doesn't really end like that. I don't think.
well, I know how the last episode.
I mean, like
can't
it doesn't.
remember
I don't
what-
think it goes. I don't think he goes. See you, space cowboy.
He says something Space Cowboy.
He
or-
does. It does say at the end of some episodes,
Okay.
most even, see you, space cowboy, like the text
Mhm.
in like the corner. Then it's like, here's what's on next week's episode. It's very cool and TV-ish. It's nice.
I would say through most the anime that I've seen and have looked at, if it has anything to do with America, like if someone is going overseas to like study abroad, like their character's gone. Like there's no more. You don't know about that character anymore. You don't hear about it.
Like in Fooly Cooley, how his older brother, he's never brought up, but he's just mentioned, be like, oh, he plays baseball
yeah,
in
he plays
America.
baseball in America.
Yeah.
You don't ever know. Like America's like another world.
I love Fooly Cooley.
They're
That's one of
making
my.
another season.
I hope it's good.
I don't know. I mean, it's.
I feel it kind of. I kind of don't like it because it was just like, oh, it was just like a one and done thing that was really special and unique and like silly.
I don't think it's going to have anything to do with the original characters. I think it's
No.
going to be another show like it.
It's like
But
it's like branding it, and it's probably going to be about like some coming of age.
I hope so. I mean, they're using the same band that
The
did
Pillows.
I
I love their
I
music
know,
too.
they're doing it again.
I go back and listen to those songs too, and they've catchy songs, and it fit the anime perfectly
Mhm.
too. They played like one song at the end, like during like big moments, and it just fit really perfectly.
It's a good anime. You should watch it. It's only 6 episodes.
Yeah,
Super
My
short.
kind of anime right there.
yeah, for
super
real.
weird. It's
Yeah,
super
really-
weird.
What is it? Explain the plot, if you will.
I don't know if
All
I
right,
can explain
all right.
it.
So it's 6 episodes. It's a coming of age story. It's about this boy named
I don't remember.
Taku.
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's about this boy, and he's like starting to hit puberty. Basically, that's what the whole show. It's one big metaphor about like getting boners. Pretty much.
Alex expresses your disagreement with this.
Basically, there's this corporation, this giant, what's it called? Iron. There's a giant iron in their town, and it's
What?
it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a medical company.
Yeah.
Really?
And basically, this girl shows up on this scooter, and she's driving by, and for whatever reason, she has a bass guitar, and she whacks him in the head with it.
The boy.
Yeah, the boy. And you later find out she's an alien, and she's there on like a conspiracy, but she ends up staying at the boy's house, and this like phallic thing grows out of his head, and he's really embarrassed by it, so he's trying to keep it hidden. And basically, he pulls it out of his head, and it's a robot.
hmm
What
Yeah.
in the world
Yeah.
It's
is this?
such a weird show, and it's so good.
It's really funny. It's really funny. And yeah, the whole show is basically about a metaphor about like having your first crush and having like feelings for someone and not being able to understand it. And you find out the girl's actually an alien,
hmm
like I said earlier, and she's there on like a conspiracy. It's only 6 episodes. Like one episode is all about them playing baseball.
Yeah.
One episode is
Because
about
there's-
them doing like an airsoft or paintball battle.
Oh, I don't know.
I remember
But
that
there's
episode being the weirdest.
Another important character, the other schoolgirl, who's
Oh.
who's like in love with the boy's brother.
Yeah, because they were dating, but he went overseas to
Mhm.
play baseball, and she likes him, and
But
he
and
likes
he
her.
likes
He
the
likes her,
little boy likes the younger brother likes her. And she likes the older brother.
but she like misses him, so she takes it out on him. and
Yeah.
So she's like close to him. It's a great show. It's very whacked out and psychedelic and
Mhm.
crazy.
I'm on board with this. Where can I watch it?
You can buy the Blu-ray.
Probably go to kissanime.com or Crunchyroll.
Did you just
It used-
advocate for a piracy website on this podcast?
Oh
No,
my
I didn't do
god!
any of that.
Who cares?
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll, can I have your account?
Yeah.
It
Sweet.
used to be on
Thank you. Love
Netflix,
you.
but that was a long
Yeah, I don't think
time
it's on
ago.
Netflix anymore.
Yeah, Netflix doesn't have time for that. They have to.
Netflix is putting out a bunch of weird anime.
They have to put out
Their
the
own anime.
They have to put out the Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, is that a segue?
No.
No, not yet.
No.
Okay, all right, we're not done. Okay.
Alex, I want to share my introduction to Japanese animation.
Can I
like-
share mine first? It's quicker.
You're like, yours is gonna be really drawn out. You're gonna say at least 50 times.
Yes.
All right, go.
Alex got me into it. Anyway, continue with yours.
That was your first like time ever seeing it.
I saw like an episode of Full Metal Alchemist
That's
when I
good
was
anime,
at
too.
my Mima's house.
one.
This is when I knew I didn't think it was for me at the time. It was an episode with like a refrigerator truck, right? And like the character, I didn't understand the shit. Yes, do you know this episode? Okay, all right.
What
so,
a
like,
terrible first episode.
right?
Well,
No,
what's
I was
with
just
the
like,
refrigerator?
what the fuck? No, okay, so I'm watching it. I think it's a cartoon because I'm young and stupid.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm watching this episode, and there's a character, and he's like, well, I have this refrigerator truck, whatever your name is, female character. And she's like, I love refrigerator trucks. Like, I totally love those. Let me check it out.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, like, oh my god, I love them.
Really? A truck full of refrigerators?
Yeah, it's not like that. It's
Oh.
like a cooling truck
Oh.
for like meat.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so like she goes in there, eventually she's like captured or something, and then I remember a man with like his arm cut off.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I was like, I should probably turn this off because this is not for me. I don't know what's happening here. Yeah. So that was my first exposure to anime.
Man.
Would you like to give that context or that episode some context?
I can't really. That one's. I mean, you watched the original Full Metal Alchemist, which came out.
Not Brotherhood.
Not Brotherhood. No, that came out later. And I know what episode you're talking about because it was like he was cutting off pieces of people's body parts.
Yeah.
And I can remember the refrigerator truck and like the ice thing that they kept, or like the big refrigerator that they kept all the body parts in.
It's pretty heavy stuff.
It's a dark show. It's a very dark show.
I've seen the first few episodes. They try bringing their mom back.
Yeah.
From beyond the dead, and
they can't.
Yeah, they can't, and
Causes
causes his little brother to be like destroyed, and his soul resides in like this suit of armor or something.
Basically, like I can't remember the actual saying, but it's equivalent exchange. So you can't, to get a life, you have to take a life. Is what basically they didn't understand it because they were children. So when they tried to bring their mother back, the alchemy that they were doing with was like, okay, well, I need a body for you to get a body. So he took, because they were small children, he took all of his brother's body and he did alchemy, and he took the main character's Ed's arm and one of his legs, one arm and one leg.
Yeah.
And then he basically did the alchemy to kind of trap his brother's soul in a body of armor. And then it was kind of, that's where the storyline starts, with them trying to get the Philosopher's Stone and getting his brother's body back and everything back to normal.
Isn't alchemy the making of gold?
Not in
Isn't
this
that
show.
what that is?
It's like smelting natural elements,
Is it?
melting them down to their essence to make elixirs.
Let's play a fun
Yeah.
game of Hey
I mean,
Siri.
it does have to do with elements.
Hey Siri, what is alchemy? Question mark.
I say it's breaking down elements, their essence, to make
Okay, she
elixirs
didn't hear
and
it.
cures. There, I just answered it, Jacob.
Hey
Yeah.
Siri, what is alchemy? Question mark.
Shall I continue?
No.
That was actually perfect.
I'm sad now.
My first exposure to anime was Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I did watch that
Pokemon.
too.
It's a
Me and my
pretty good
brother and
intro.
sister loved Pokemon. And then I got a little older and loved Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, that
I
one
s-
sucks.
I still have the cards and everything. This show is similar to Sailor Moon, as where every episode
Is this
the same.
same as Digimon too?
I didn't get into Digimon, but for Yu-Gi-Oh, just like, oh, I believe in my cards just like I believe in my friends. And even if I lose, I still have my friends. Go! So, yeah.
Alright.
I can do a killer Kaiba impression.
Oh my god.
Do it.
David loves it.
Do it.
I'm gonna destroy you, Yugi, with my blue eyes white dragon. It hurts your voice doing it. But Alex,
It's hilarious.
as a weeaboo,
Oh, she took
An-
offense.
anime is at a
Alex is an
all-time-
otaku.
It's like all-time popular with all the cool kids and youngsters. How does that make you feel? Whereas like 10 years ago, if you're into anime, it was like lame, quote unquote lame, and now like teenagers like can't get enough of it, and they're just like eating it more so than normal.
They're literally eating the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's evolved. It's now, when I was watching it in high school, so 10 years ago, there were very little companies that did the voiceovers and like gained the rights to the anime to be able to do the dubs.
Mhm.
So you were watching it in Japanese, and I think that's what people were like, you're watching something that's not in English? That's so weird. So me and my friends, who were the weird kids who liked anime and dressed, I didn't dress like this, but my friends dressed super goth-like, all the black, big baggy black pants.
Oh,
You know that
the
weird
parachute
video?
ones
Yeah.
with like the chain.
Yeah, those were my friends.
That's okay.
And I think
Alex would have been a wolf kid.
No, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's okay. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Jacob asked me that casually, just like, you were a wolf kid, weren't you? And I was like, no.
A wolf kid is something that doesn't need to be defined on this show.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Well, I think now the company, especially Funimation, has like taken over anime. And pretty much once the anime, especially now, once an anime is released, like they have it in their rights within about 3 weeks. And they're starting to dub it. So it comes out, it's like the Japanese episode comes out and the English voiceover episode comes out a couple weeks later. And it's crazy because it never used to be like that. So I think it's accessible now more too. And people are like, oh, it's just I don't think they know. People might not know they're watching anime. It could be just a cartoon because it's in English.
That's interesting.
That's pretty quick for a dub.
It is.
They are fast.
Steve Blum lives at Funimation Studios now.
It's,
He has a bed there.
me and my friends, when Funimation was starting to get super popular when they started, because their biggest show that got them into everything was Fullmetal Alchemist and Brotherhood. So once all of those shows started rolling out, me and my friends were like, it's the Funimation Vault. They're using all the same 5 voice actors to voice every single anime that comes out. And we're like, they just live there in Texas because Funimation's in Texas.
Really?
Yes.
That's a strange place for it to be. You'd think like LA.
There is one in LA called Bang Zoom.
Oh.
And they release other, not as prominent animes. But it's a fight. Like, one company can't release, like, 2 companies can't release the same anime.
Hmm.
And if they do, they have to use different voice actors, and it's 2 completely different animes, really, because you have to get your own translator for each of them and translate to what you think they're saying.
Has that ever been done? Like,
I've seen animes done where it's been English, like, mostly, like, where it was dubbed in, like, the 90s, and they've taken it again and have dubbed it later on.
with a different studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how accurate are the translations?
They're pretty accurate, I would say.
Do they have to, like, change up a lot of things?
I mean, they have to change. It depends on. I've watched one anime where it was called Princess Jellyfish, where the Japanese, it was very.
Of course it was called Princess Jellyfish.
It was so good. It was so good. But they made so many references to Japanese culture. And so when I watched it in English, they changed all those references to American, like, culture.
I can kind of picture that. Like, they might make, like, because they did it in Fooly Cooley.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the girl, I forget her name, she referenced Red Hot Chili Peppers and American rock bands, and I'm just like, I don't know if that was in the Japanese one.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched all of that. But sometimes they do that where they make American references instead of sticking with the Japanese ones because it's easier. Like, if someone who's not an anime fan who isn't involved in the Japanese culture wouldn't know.
You're right. Like, I know some animes, probably something stupid like Yu-Gi-Oh, where, like, well, Yu-Gi-Oh for America was heavily censored.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, it played out to, like, I don't know, maybe between, like, 15 and 18-year-olds, and in America, it was, like, 6 to, like, 12-year-olds, so it was heavily censored. But I want to say for some animes, they take out, like, Japanese food and replace it with, like, cheeseburgers and fries and stuff like that.
They've done in an anime called One Piece, when it was brought over, when they were dubbing it in English, they took out, there's one character who always had a cigarette in his mouth, and they changed it up to a lollipop.
I never watched One Piece, but I remember that one was big too. I haven't seen a lot of shows, but I've seen a lot of anime movies, like all the Ghiblis and stuff like that.
Those are good movies.
Yeah,
so, like,
those are all classic. I remember seeing Princess Mononoke when I was like 7, and it's when Prince Ashitaka takes out his bow and arrow, and he just, like, decapitated someone, and, like, I saw that, and I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had just seen, like, silly cartoons and stuff, and I was like, he took off someone's arms, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, that happens all the time in Japan.
Yeah, I was like, this is PG-13? Not PG or G?
In Japan it is.
Yeah.
That happens everywhere.
It's just a daily
Decapitations,
thing.
yeah.
What's it called?
Didn't do your homework?
Seppuku?
Slice.
What's it called? Seppuku?
Seppuku.
Oh, like samurai suicide?
Yeah.
They do that a
Thing
lot,
where you have
too.
to, like, start at, like, your lower right.
Oh, I don't know.
Go, like, left.
Yeah, you like
and then
slowly
up
do
to
it.
your heart.
Really? That
Yeah,
I thought
it's
they
tough.
Damn.
Yeah, no, you gotta like carve up, I think.
And then they take it and they just rip it back.
They do not do that. I don't think they do. It's not part of it. You're disrespecting the spirits of many samurai.
Good job, Collin.
Samurai
They-
Champloo.
Basically,
yeah.
Japan's cool. They have all the cool ideas.
They do.
And then America's like, wow, I'm influenced by it.
It's true.
Yeah, it is.
Japan looks like Blade Runner. Blade Runner is very...
But actually,
Well-
isn't that the opposite? Isn't that the one thing that Japan loved and it heavily influenced them?
You're
Blade
probably
Runner?
right. It did
Yeah.
influence Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, it was Blade Runner that they got obsessed with. And maybe Alien. They love Ridley Scott.
They do.
The
They love
Japanese,
old Ridley Scott,
yeah.
too. All of them are just like, man, like, The Martian,
They love Ridley.
Gods, or
Hideo
Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Hideo Kojima is just like Blade Runner. Very big influence on my new game.
The Japanese aren't upset either when America makes their movies based off of their anime, like Ghost in the Shell. They're just like, I think it's cool you're taking our shows and putting it in America. They're not like upset when everyone else over here is like, it sucks. It doesn't follow the anime. They're just like, it's cool.
Americans are just like, why is Scarlett Johansson in this film? You know?
Yeah.
And over there,
that
they're
is
just like, this
true.
is great. She's like the most famous person in the world. She's in Ghost in the Shell. We can't wait to go watch this. I'm just like, why isn't this an Asian actress?
Also, I did see that interview, I think, that you're talking about, where they're asking about, like, Ghost in the Shell, if people are pissed.
Mhm.
And they're like, not really.
They're like, no.
Because, like the anime, they look American. They look American in that
Mhm.
anime. And in many others, they're, I don't know. It's not really an issue for them, I don't think. We make it an issue.
Yeah, we really do. Social media.
Yeah. But, like, is that because it's Scarlett Johansson and she's literally the first person you'd pick to put in that movie, and it's not a very innovative choice at all? It's just like, we might as well just do Scarlett Johansson.
It's like putting The Rock in a male-led action movie.
Yeah.
Just put him in the new Men in Black reboot.
He's got like 6 new movies coming out this year.
Good for
it's
him.
Crazy.
Good for him.
Mhm.
He's such a...
Skyscraper, which looks like just, you might as well just call it not Die Hard.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm
Yeah.
stuck in this building.
He's got a...
I saw that I saw a tweet.
He doesn't have a leg in that movie.
Oh, you're right. He's appropriating amputee culture.
Oh,
Wow.
man. Who's going to be pissed about that? Everyone. I'm pissed.
People are going to be up in arms, waving their legs around in the air.
Oh my god. Then protest their legs and they have like a sign taped onto it.
Yeah.
But I bet you
Yes.
people will be... I bet you there's going to be someone out in the comments that's like, why didn't you just get a real amputee? I bet you there's so many great actors who are actual amputees.
Why didn't The Rock just actually amputate his leg for the role? If he's that dedicated, he'd do it.
Who's yelling that? Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's why he can't do. That's why he's retiring, because he like can't
Retiring, quote unquote.
quote unquote. But he'll like injure himself if needed to be.
He's a method actor.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my character had a bad car accident in his past, which fucked up his arm. Gets in the car, starts,
Oh my god.
honey, no, Danny,
Mrs. Day-Lewis
Yeah.
yells.
Daniel, don't.
Do you think it's... Is it really Mrs. Day-Lewis?
I doubt it.
More like Daniel, don't Lewis, don't take the role. Thanks. I'm glad y'all enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
that was so bad. See, like, I pray they cast him as Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movie. Because,
Who, The
no,
Rock?
it's
no, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
For them to do that?
He wouldn't do that role.
He can't method
but what
act
if he
it.
did?
That'd be
It's Taffy
shocking.
Puller.
That'd be shocking. I guess he'd be like, "Wow, he was really interested in Mr. Fantastic. Who would have thought?" Daniel Day-Lewis, The Crucible. There Will Be Blood. My Left Foot. Fantastic Four.
I was
doesn't-
rewatching a scene from There Will Be Blood the other day with Alex, I think.
Great movie.
I think it was with you. It was either with you or my sister, where I showed you the scene and you were like, I don't want to watch this.
Well,
So
it
I kept
wasn't me.
watching it by
It
myself.
wasn't me.
I think it was you. It was the bowling scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was you.
The milkshake scene,
The bowling
like
scene.
the end of
Where
the
they're
movie,
in the bowling alley. Yeah.
when he's like, "I drink your milkshake."
Yes. It's insane.
I know.
He is insane
Yeah.
in that movie.
I know.
He's amazing. I bet it rips apart his psyche though to act like that. Like it's
intense.
yeah.
Have you seen?
He was Abraham Lincoln.
You've seen all of There Will Be Blood, right?
Yeah.
Awesome movie.
It is a great movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't get talked about as much as it should.
It doesn't.
It's
I mean,
not,
it
like,
does for his
everyone.
It does
but
for his performance, but not just how like awesome and like unique. It's a very unique movie. There's no other movie like it. It's just about this crazy oil tycoon.
It's pretty.
That's-
It's not
that's
like
it.
that complicated of a movie either. Like it's very just. It's a good movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very classic feeling.
Yeah, Tarantino loves it. Oh boy, Tarantino's in the news.
Oh, what did
Yeah,
he,
he
what did he
is.
do now?
Oh, he did. It's not what he did. It's what he did to Uma Thurman like many years ago.
Oh my god.
It's not sexual, really.
On the set of Kill Bill.
Do not make the joke.
All right,
Don't
I
make the
won't.
joke.
Make the joke.
No. It's
It's
disgusting.
pretty terrible.
So
and it takes a knowledge of Tarantino's foot fetish to get it. He has
So-
a foot fetish.
What did he do? Grab her foot?
No.
I mean,
Collin-
probably.
Colin sent me a message. The first one was so vulgar, I won't say it. But then he was like, yeah, Uma Thurman was like, Tarantino raped my feet. Isn't that tasteless?
Damn it, Jacob! You weren't supposed to say it.
How tasteless is that?
All right. God damn it, Jacob.
It's so awful.
We were supposed to keep this private.
I didn't say the bad one that you said. And I'll keep that between you. and I.
Okay, so Uma Thurman, she did this.
Uma Thurman.
Thurma, she did this tell-all interview with the New Yorker.
Yep, the
New Yorker?
Washington Post.
The Washington Post.
I don't know if it was
I think it was a big interview, and she was like, Harvey Weinstein sexually assaulted me, and apparently he's like putting like legal allegations or something. He's like, I'm gonna sue everyone.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, and
is?
it's just like, dude, just admit it. Like,
That's
like stop.
That's
like
unreal.
Like, yeah. So she's like, yeah, Harvey Weinstein sexually assaulted me and did inappropriate things with many other actresses. And then basically, like, on the set of Kill Bill, there's a scene where she's driving in the sand. Is that a scene? She's driving a shitty car on like a sandy road,
Mhm.
and Tarantino was like, "You're gonna be the one driving," and she's like, "I'm not a professional stunt driver. This car is like falling apart. The seat's not screwed in properly." She described herself as being in excruciating pain just sitting in the car, and she wrecked into a tree, I believe. She wrecked the car and had to go to the hospital. She had, I believe, a concussion, right?
And like
Jacob?
some permanent neck damage.
Yeah, like she's still like in pain, like from this accident. Like it's been serious repercussions.
Yeah, this is the part that stuck out to me. Tarantino telling her, I need you to hit 40 miles an hour or your hair won't blow right.
Yeah, that's just like the egotistical director.
That's
of, like,
fucked up.
yeah. So he was kind of like he didn't care about her safety.
No, he cared about the shot.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you have a stunt driver? Why would you have Uma Thurman do it?
Yeah, and you pointed out to me. I did not think of this.
No, I'm not the genius who realized this. This
Oh,
was
okay.
in other information and other people talking about it, but go on.
The movie he made after the Kill Bills was Death Proof,
Hmm.
which is about Kurt Russell, who is a stunt driver in a death-proof car, who like murders girls, I guess.
Yeah, women with
Yeah.
his car.
Yeah. Isn't that like a little odd?
Because
Just I don't know. It's a little
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
And like he totes his car as being, oh, like it's death proof. It's my stunt car. It's weird.
because to follow it up, like they had a fallout after that. She was like, "You nearly killed me." He freaked out. He knew what Weinstein was doing, but didn't like do anything about it. And so yeah, they had a fallout because before that, him and Uma Thurman were like two peas in a pod.
She was in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
BFFs.
yeah, pretty much. I'm surprised they didn't have a relationship. Tarantino.
They may have.
Tarantino's
Never
dated a lot of women.
He has, for such an ugly fucker.
I know.
It's because he's got money.
That's true. But so do they. Well, maybe not as much, unfortunately, with the pay gap and stuff. I mean, we're being
Yeah.
paid more to be on this podcast than you are.
You're
Is that,
right.
if that's what you said.
But when I told you this, Jacob, you said something that kind of, I was like, you know what, you're right. You're like, no one ever said Tarantino was a good guy.
No, he's never been touted as being a good guy. He's just a good director.
Yeah,
he's always been a piece of shit.
He's a good filmmaker, and he's
Yeah.
very advocate on talking about movies, but like in any interview, you can tell he's just kind of like an obnoxious jerk,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I think it's shitty that he wasn't concerned about her safety.
Yeah, it is pretty shitty. But, like, that doesn't make Kill Bill a bad movie.
No,
It just makes the maker of Kill Bill a bad guy.
in that particular situation, you know, I'm sure Tarantino's done some lovely things.
Oh, I'm sure he's helped an old lady cross the road or something.
Yeah. All right.
And then he ran her over with his death-proof car.
Oh, well, the thing is that they wouldn't even let Uma Thurman have the footage of the accident.
Oh, for
Yeah,
like
they
legal
would.
shit?
Yeah, so like they were like, nope, you can't have it.
That's
That's
wild.
fucked up.
That is fucked up.
I think that's the worst part.
I bet it'll come out.
No, she has it now.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Will she ever release it?
Yeah, it's,
She'll
it's
release it?
available now. I
Oh,
think.
is it?
Yeah, you can.
She
see if
dropped
you can
it on the
find it.
Super Bowl?
Yeah,
That was
during
the
the
Super Bowl
halftime.
spot? Damn.
I
I heard about there was like a 30-second like black screen during the Super Bowl. Is this true?
Is that what happened?
There was,
Yeah.
everybody
thought-
experienced it.
We thought
Really?
that our TV turned off.
See, everyone at was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was in the kitchen, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
And then
I remember that happening because me
Yeah.
and my cousin were like,
fuck, I said anyway, say what you were going to say.
no, my cousins thought that their children turned the TV off, but I was like, no, he's over there doing whatever. I was like, it's magic, it's ghosts.
Yeah, people at work were like, "What's going on here? Is it terrorists? Are they
Oh my
bombing
god!
the
Oh
Super Bowl?"
my god!
No, I don't think any of them actually said that. But
It's probably Geoff.
Ugh.
Oh, God. It's the
Geoff, the Buffalo Bills aren't in the Super Bowl. We keep trying to tell you. I almost said Barnacle Bills.
The Barnacle Bills.
Yeah,
are in the Super Bowl.
The Boston Barnacle Bills. So,
turned.
let's
Let's
talk about some major news.
well,
How major?
Groundbreaking.
speaking of, well, you want to talk about groundbreaking. I have something for you, Colin,
Yeah.
that you know about. We've already talked about it in detail.
And what would this be?
Well, never before in the history of ever has it been announced, teased, previewed, and released on the same day. I'm talking about film. A film that was announced. A film that was teased via social media.
Talking about the
Via
Cloverfield
shut
Paradox.
the fuck up. Let me get to it.
Oh, sorry.
Jeez. Yeah.
I
I'm talking
stole
about the
your.
Cloverfield
I'm sorry.
Paradox.
I'm sorry for stealing your thunder and glory.
All right. Well,
that was very rude of me.
everything happened on the same day.
Was it on social media?
Yeah.
Like
They
for
teased it
may-
on Facebook
for
and
like
stuff.
maybe an hour, and then.
But
Yeah.
did it happen before or after
I think
the-
after the trailer.
the trailer dropped?
So, like, the trailer dropped. Nobody knew this movie was happening.
Well, we knew it was
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, but we didn't know it was happening quite this soon because the trailer drops and it's like available tonight. That's insane.
It
First
didn't.
off,
I mean, it didn't say that on the
Yeah,
trailer.
it did.
It did
On the
Did
trailer?
It?
No,
I just
it
thought
didn't.
it said
It said
coming
underneath.
to Netflix.
It's coming to Netflix tonight.
I don't remember
It's
that.
in very small letters.
I want to see the.
Yeah,
I wanna
I'm
see
with-
the
I'm-
trailer.
I'm with Alex.
I don't think it said that. I remember
God
seeing
damn.
available on Netflix.
I
I think
remember-
it said like
it coming to Netflix
coming
or
to
something.
Netflix. Yeah,
Like,
I don't think it said tonight.
Cloverfield Paradox trailer.
so, all right, I'm gonna keep everyone entertained while Jacob proves himself wrong. We all knew
Fuck you.
We all knew that this new Cloverfield movie is coming, but it was originally a movie called what?
What do you?
That was nothing. Don't worry about it.
It was originally a movie called God Particle. Basically, they're taking movies that have already been written and maybe already even shot, and then they're just reworking them into a Cloverfield movie that no one wants.
Yeah, pretty much.
What is the smart idea of that? Just being like, oh, we have a original story. Let's rebrand it and make it a Cloverfield movie.
Oh, Alex, would you like to make the announcement?
I don't
for us
remember
all?
it saying that on TV.
I don't care.
I don't think it said that on TV.
It did.
It said tonight on there.
The top comment on the trailer is this the God Particle movie? The answer is
Not anymore.
not really. Yeah.
It was. You should comment that. Be like, it was at one point.
Everybody's pretty much just like, don't bother. The movie is pretty fucking lame. Okay. All these tweets. 10 Cloverfield Lane was announced 2 months before the release. The Cloverfield Paradox was announced 4 hours before release. Cloverfield 4, J.J. Abrams just kind of throws the Blu-ray through your window.
They post it on Reddit and wait till people to find it.
That'd be fucking cool. That'd be really dope.
I believe Death Grips did that with one of their albums.
Really?
Yeah, it was an instrumental album, and like they just put it on Reddit, and like I don't think anyone even like realized what it was.
I think we've mentioned Death Grips on every single episode of this podcast, which is fucking sad.
But
I
Death
agree.
Grips.
I agree.
that's what J.J.
Alex loves
Abrams
Death Grips.
is gonna do. He's just
No,
gonna
I
throw it
don't.
on Reddit.
Yeah.
Um.
Anyway, I think that
So
this movie's so fucking weird, Alex.
I didn't see it. I don't like scary movies.
it's
not
not scary.
scary.
It's just like a sci-fi.
It's
I did watch the first
suspenseful.
one.
movie.
I didn't like the first one. It freaked me out.
10 Cloverfield Lane was pretty good. You would like it.
No, that looked scary.
Cloverfield Paradox was pretty shit. You would like it. You like tarot movies?
Whoa. Yes.
The Mirror Has Two Faces.
That's a great movie.
Is it?
That's a great movie.
It's a great melodrama.
It's a great movie, but on the Snyder-Collin scale, it's a terrible movie.
I haven't seen The
Look.
Mirror Has Two Faces, so I'm not gonna say. It has Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, Barbara Streisand,
I love both of them.
Pierce Brosnan.
I love them.
Pierce Brosnan's in it?
Yeah.
Is a mirror in it?
No.
Really, not one mirror is in that
there's-
movie. Okay. I was gonna be mad.
So we knew this Cloverfield movie was coming. It was
Yeah.
supposed to come out in February, but it got pushed back to April. Little did we know it was
Still,
coming. It was,
yeah.
was coming out in February.
But
But
somehow, some way.
that's when the rumor began that Paramount is selling this to Netflix. Because Paramount isn't the hottest studio right now.
No.
They don't have any major franchises like, oh, we have Transformers.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, like congratulations. Like the worst movie series that's your big
But
like
they make a lot of
crowning
money.
gold turd.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah. But other than that, Paramount, they're a little tight on
Funds.
big movies. So they get God Particle, the Cloverfield Paradox. They're like, let's sell it to Netflix because they don't have faith that it's gonna make big money at the
Yeah.
box office.
And you mentioned that this might be because they had filmed some things in it. It was originally filmed as God Particle, excuse me. And they filmed like some R-rated shit in there.
Yeah, because this movie,
It's relatively gory.
Yeah, it's a bit more graphic, but it's not like. But the rest of the movie isn't lewd enough to warrant an R rating or anything. So there was a rumor that it was going to go to Netflix, and then the first trailer came out, and then we found out it was on Netflix, and then we found out, oh, you could just watch it right now. Incredible! I couldn't believe it. I was playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and I check our Snapchat group, and Jacob's just like, yeah, you can actually just watch it right now. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Fucking fathom that. Like that's insane. That's I don't know. It's never happened, but there was a catch. You can watch it now, but it's not very good.
You have to suffer.
Yeah, it's not fun to watch.
Yeah, so they literally just dumped this movie onto Netflix. Netflix is basically a dumping ground of Netflix original content at
Pretty
this
much.
point.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? Fuck.
I
So
think
it was
that-
interesting watching a movie, not seeing a lot of the trailers or anything. Like went into this blind. There's no tomato score. There's no trailer reaction videos or anything. So there was nothing to cloud our judgment. You know. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, because you don't get to see a lot of movies just knowing absolutely nothing about it, especially a movie that is part of this Cloverfield quote-unquote franchise and features a lot of intrigue. That's what the three movies all have in common. One is about, one's a monster movie, one is alien invader movie, and this one's about the Earth disappearing, but not really.
See, okay, this is...
No.
Shut the
This
fuck
isn't the
up.
review yet.
I'm getting into pre-stuff.
Yeah, this
Can
is
you
all...
let me talk, please?
What?
This is half
This
my
is all
podcast.
pre...
Someone
Oh
say
my
it's 65% my podcast.
You girls are both beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What were we talking about?
The God Paradox.
Yeah, you're right. The Cloverfield Particle would have been a better title. than
Ooh.
The Cloverfield Particle? That would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, that would be kind of a... That does sound a bit better.
Hire me, JJ. JJ has nothing to do with these movies. Let's not kid ourselves.
Alex, is there anything you would like to say about Cloverfield?
I only saw the first movie, and I was forced to watch it because I was on a bus.
What a way to watch Cloverfield.
I was on a bus.
I'm picturing a Greyhound bus. I know it wasn't a Greyhound bus,
I don't know what
but
kind of bus it
I'm
was.
picturing like a Greyhound bus, and it's a bunch of like really angry people, and for whatever reason you had to be on a Greyhound bus, and they're just like, all right, well, we're playing that new J.J. Abrams movie, Cloverfield, and then somebody's in the back, and they're like, isn't that directed by Matt Reeves?
That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
It's like you were there. It's so weird.
And then one guy's like, yeah, he's in talks to direct a Batman movie like 13 years from now. And they're just like, what? Huh?
Starring Ben Affleck?
Someone said that too.
That's crazy. It's like we were there. It was us. It's the Cloverfield Paradox.
I'm glad that you said that the movie kind of freaked you out a little bit, because I saw it in theaters, and it was kind of like, it was an intense movie theater experience. There were a lot of times that made you like jump, and it was thrilling. It was a thrilling movie theater experience, and then
Why was that a thing to put in air quotes?
it was thrilling.
Thrilling. I don't know. I didn't like it very much, but I don't like those kind of movies.
The ending was so bad.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, the ending was horrible. It's one of the worst endings ever.
And then you see the clip of them at like the carnival, and you see the satellite falling in the background,
Oh.
and it's like that's what caused Cloverfield.
See,
Why was it called Cloverfield?
See, I like to think that that wasn't a satellite, but that was just like, it's like B movie. Oh, meteor fell from the sky and had an alien in it.
See, you might like to think that, but Abrams has come out and said it's a satellite, which makes no fucking sense.
So, like, a little satellite hits the ocean, and then there's, like a giant creature, and just ding! And it was just like, I am.
Well,
like, that doesn't make sense. Like,
no,
was
it doesn't.
radioactive
but,
or something?
I don't know.
There's just a monster at the bottom of the ocean. Granted, I guess that is theoretically a thing, that there's giant creatures.
Well, now we know that giant creature isn't from the bottom of the ocean after all.
So what does this have to do with the Slusho satellite?
Is that Slusho?
I think so.
There's like a company in these movies that like is in all of them, I guess.
Yeah, it's also in Super 8.
Oh, is Super 8 is that a Cloverfield movie?
Yeah.
See,
That
I
was
always
too
thought that
casual.
when I saw Cloverfield, I remember, I think maybe it was a couple years later, District 9 came out, and I thought they were related.
Oh, really?
Mm.
But they're not. But I didn't like that movie either. It was weird. It was creepy.
District 9. Is that found footage?
The beginning of the movie kind of is.
Okay.
Half of the movie is like The Office style.
Oh,
then-
it's documentary style. It's
then-
mockumentary.
Yeah,
That's right.
mockumentary, and then the other half of the movie is just a movie.
I remember District 9 being great. And then I
Yeah.
remember everything else Neil Blomkamp has done being not really as good as District 9.
I like District 9. It was a cool movie for back then.
It's
Will
creepy.
they
Yeah,
ever
it
make a
was.
sequel?
Nah.
That
Too
movie
late.
ends on a great note. It's
He
great.
turns into one of them.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
turns into an
And he's
alien.
and one of the aliens is like, I'll return in 10 years. He's like, I sure hope so. Or else I'm an alien for forever.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Netflix just dropped District 10. You can watch it right now. Brilliant marketing, because there was none. And the movie was horrible.
See, okay. It is brilliant marketing
Is
for
it
this movie.
though?
Yes.
Is it though?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
It? I don't think
Yes.
it. I don't think it. I'd
It
call
is.
it brilliant.
I
It's
would
a
call it
stunt,
brilliant.
which is what you said earlier, and I'd say
I-
it's a stunt, not brilliant.
I'd say it's a brilliant stunt because it fooled both of us in that we got excited for this movie. We were already excited for it, but admittedly, it tripled in comparison. Like, I know I was so fucking excited to get home from work to watch this thing. Like, just because you don't go into the day thinking you're going to be able to watch Cloverfield 3.
Yeah, like I didn't know this was a thing that was going to happen.
No.
Like,
And then,
oh, we already watched the movie. What the
Yeah.
hell?
It was like a trap. They trapped you guys into wanting to watch the movie.
it's true.
And they knew it wasn't a good movie. So they were like, we're just going to release it and then release it again. And then it'll be over with. And people will talk about it for probably the rest of this week. And then it'll be gone forever.
Right.
I think you're exactly right. Well, we're going to talk about it right now.
I think
And
I just
we'll
think,
move on.
Yeah, I just think that like it wouldn't have gotten the buzz that it got after last night. It wouldn't have. This is causing conversations. At this point now, they're like, "Oh, we've changed the game." They took a basic, not even a real Cloverfield sequel. None of these Cloverfields are sequels to the original Cloverfield.
This one
They're
makes
half-assed.
an attempt though. We'll get into that.
It makes
we'll get
an
into that
attempt-
later.
It makes an attempt via reshoots to do it. Because they're very obviously reshot. It's very obviously dubbed over to be like, oh, it's a Cloverfield movie. You never see Cloverfield on screen. It's only, the station's only referred to as the Cloverfield station in dubs.
I thought
or
it was referred
narration.
to as the Shepherd.
No, that's the particle accelerator.
Oh. So the ship is called Cloverfield.
Yes.
All right. You
But
hear the Shepherd like a million times.
Yeah. But like all of the exposition that's Cloverfield related is like newscast, which is easy to do like after the fact. It's easier to reshoot that.
And then you like just lay it on top of like a TV, like a graphic Photoshop.
Yeah, which I want to get into later once
Um,
we get into like spoiler shit.
I'm trying to think of what else to talk about before we do the main review.
Look, main review, like you mean spoiler shit?
Yeah, because I haven't said anything about my thoughts. I haven't said if I liked it or didn't
Alex,
like it.
without seeing the movie, what are your thoughts?
I hated it.
Correct, yes.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you guys said that they must have known it was a terrible movie. I feel like if they did like the trailer after trailer after trailer, like hyping you up, people would have been super hyped and probably had worse reviews then.
I think you're right, because it would have been a hard movie to market, because the main premise happens in like the first 15, 20 minutes. And that would be the big marketing gimmick. The Earth is gone. And then people would be going to see it and being like, oh, well, that just happens at the beginning of the movie. And the rest of it was weird and like didn't go much. So yeah, this movie would have bombed
Yeah.
at the box office.
See, like, and that was why you and I were so excited, because we heard about this movie called God Particle that was going to come out. And great title. Awesome title.
That was rumored / confirmed to be the next Cloverfield like anthology movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we thought the premise of this had potential for a sci-fi thriller.
Yeah, it was like some astronauts trapped on a space or in a space station with a particle accelerator discover that the Earth is gone after they've tested it. Cool. Like that's kind of neat, you know?
Yeah, like that has potential for some good sci-fi drama, you know?
And then like that's not really what the movie's about.
So, I think
sucks.
I think we'll go ahead and do you want to take
Worst
a break?
movie ever. We don't really have time for a break.
We don't have time for a break.
No, it's 3:55. Alex has to work in 40 minutes. 35 minutes.
Oh shit.
25 minutes.
I could be late.
12 minutes.
All right.
I think that overall, what even is a Cloverfield?
What? Yeah, like a field of 4-leaf clovers, like, you know.
Someone did say that Cloverfield they thought would be like Cloverfield is the Twilight Zone type thing. It's just a name to give to an anthology series. That would have been cool. It's not.
But what about in the second one where they actually was the street called Cloverfield Lane?
It was.
Yeah, that was the address.
See, like,
of
that's just
John
like
Goodman.
That's just like the neat little, like, oh, like, ooh, it's Cloverfield Lane. Ooh,
Ooh.
you know, whatever. Like, it's not like a Cloverfield. It's a Cloverfield movie, but like it's its own thing. It'll never be revisited. It's like an episode of Black Mirror.
Basically, there's like 3 of these. There's Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and now the Cloverfield Paradox. It's like they took 10 Cloverfield Lane, like picked it out of the line, just kind of like threw it. They're like, this movie is too good. Because generally, I think everyone would agree that that's the best of the 3.
Yes.
Me personally, I still like the first one more, but like the second one's like an actual movie.
Yeah.
It's
and
not found footage and
No. Cloverfield Lane is really good until it hits that last 10 minutes.
yeah.
Where-
I wasn't a fan, as you know.
Yeah. Where like the whole movie has led you to believe that it's nothing. Like it's all a farce. And then it just is like, nah, it's aliens. You're like, oh, that was way easier explained than I thought it should be. Like, it could have been cooler. It seemed not creative. I liked it because I was like, ooh, aliens. I like aliens. I like sci-fi.
Isn't that
I'm a
kind of what
sucker
happened
for
in
some sci-fi.
Signs with Mel Gibson? That really old movie, Signs,
yeah.
where they were like, it's aliens.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean exactly?
How you just talked about how at the end of this movie where you're like, it's aliens, and
I think
Didn't that-
I think in Signs they built it up. Like you knew that it was going to be aliens in the movie. Would you agree on that, Jacob?
Yeah. You guys hear a doorbell?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I thought that was like your guys' door, the thing.
Be right back.
I guess someone's home. All right, so it's just me and Alex from here on out.
Oh my gosh,
I'm guessing you didn't like Signs because it was creepy.
it was scary.
I saw it in theaters and it freaked me out. There's a
Yeah.
few scenes where little Collin version of me. We already talked about it on the M. Night Shyamalan
Mhm.
podcast, but it was a creepy movie.
It was, yeah.
Especially that scene where he's like, "There's one in the kitchen," and Mel's like, he has the knife, and then like it's like claw hand
Yeah.
comes out after him. I was just like,
Oh.
like jumped in my seat. So
I think the movie that freaked me out the most when I was younger was Tremors.
ooh, Tremors is a good one though. That's
I
a fun
was-
movie.
I was afraid to walk on the ground.
See that movie, like were you like a kid?
Yeah.
That movie plays to a kid very well because it's like, oh, you can't touch the ground.
Yeah.
Like all kids can relate to that because you've either played the game, you know, where it's like, oh, the floor is lava and you jump from couch to couch.
That movie scared the poop out of me. Like, I cried.
You
I
cried.
cried.
Tremors is fun though. I like Tremors. Tremors was a good movie.
That Kevin Bacon film?
Yeah. Kevin Bacon masterpiece.
It kind of is a masterpiece.
It is.
It's a masterpiece in like models.
And like weird wormy special effects.
Yeah, like really nice set design, stuff like that. It's pretty well done for such a silly little movie. Tremors 1 is pretty good.
It's
Freaked me
it's
out.
scarred Alex
Yeah, it
for
scarred
life.
me.
I mean, to be quite honest, it doesn't really take much.
To scare Alex.
No. It was my mom, by the way. It
Oh.
wasn't the doorbell.
Yeah, your mom just coming through the door, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought it was.
Did you say that on the podcast?
Wait, I was about to say, but you got it.
Oh, well, so you didn't say it, so it's not real. Okay, all right. That's what that is. By the way, are you busy Thursday? Other than working?
Other than work? No, I'm not.
Okay. No reason. Just asking what you were doing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna review a movie.
Wait, is it Cloverfield?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll review that too, I
Right.
guess.
Are you
It's
ready?
great. It's fantastic.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
It was Alex's movie of the year.
already.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the first movie, 2018 movie that we are seeing, and we are reviewing it. All right, so the Cloverfield Particle is the newest movie in the Cloververse. Is that what we're calling it? The Cloververse?
Yeah. Do you have this written down?
Yes.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Of course, it
That's
was
amazing.
originally God Particle. This one, unlike Lane,
Of course.
attempts to make a connection to the 2008 Cloverfield, which is what got me excited. Because in the Netflix ad, it was like 10 years ago.
You
This
know-
happened. Find out why. It's going to blow your mind.
Spoiler alert, it does not blow
Yeah.
your mind.
Don't
What got me excited was the promise of spaceships
You
and
love
space.
you're in automatically.
You're right.
If it's
You
a
know,
movie
I'm
about a spaceship, Jacob's
I'm a
in
sucker
it.
for
He's
spaceships.
easily amused when it comes to space.
Oh, I saw like the trailer. The trailer had like had an arm moving on its own.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird.
that was
That's
brief.
never gets explained.
No?
How that happens? No,
I'm upset.
Yeah, it kind of
I
does.
hate this movie already.
It kind of does.
we'll get into that. It makes no sense at all. Also, there's just weird things that are happening. It's weird. Okay, anyway, go on with your little weird synopsis that you wrote up.
Dumped onto Netflix the last minute by Paramount. Premise: a crew of scientists from all over the world board a spaceship hovering above a dying Earth, attempting to reignite the planet, aka Sunshine. So,
Oh, that is a lot like Sunshine
yeah, it is.
with Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot like it. We gotta
I
reignite.
love that guy.
We gotta.
Do you?
No, I don't know who that is.
He played.
What is
well,
he in?
Alex, he was born in 1972.
How do you know that?
I'm just guessing.
Oh, okay. Move the mic closer to your face.
So they reignite the
That's
planet.
not what I said to do. I said
using,
to move the mic closer. Move your face closer to the mic.
Using a particle accelerator thing. What even is a particle accelerator? It's just science mumbo jumbo. Basically.
A particle. Well, no.
Are you
Those
trying to tell me?
exist.
Are you trying to tell me this movie is that scientifically accurate?
No, I'm not. But particle accelerators are real. There's one in the world. I don't know. There's probably a couple.
Really?
Yeah,
Well-
and they do run the risk of doing whatever this movie says they do. Not really, but they could like cause black holes. But they won't.
So they do it, and the Earth disappears. Weird things ensue.
Yep.
All right. So I have 2 pros for this movie. Things that I thought were good things.
Okay, what are they?
It had a cool
Alex flips the table over that.
it had a cool concept. And by cool concept, I mean the Wikipedia page that said God particle. And it was literally what I just said. Scientists use a particle experiment on the Earth and it disappears. And apparently it's the next Cloverfield movie. So that was cool.
You know that anyone can write on Wikipedia, right?
For the most part, Wikipedia is like corrected. I trust Wikipedia. And Wikipedia was right in this case.
It
Because
was.
that was what the movie was about, Alex.
Collin.
Everything it was everything on that article was correct.
I actually did. I used Wikipedia for all of my reports.
Oh my god.
In high
I
school.
love Wikipedia.
I cited it, and I'm still in high school.
cited it?
So yeah, I cited Wikipedia.
Did you get an F?
Yes.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I'm not.
we weren't
stupid.
we weren't allowed to cite Wikipedia.
We weren't allowed to either. I didn't do it. I was lying.
Oh.
Or you use Wikipedia and you put a different citation, a different source. I did that.
Just
That's
lie.
plagiarism.
Shh.
You wanna know what's another thing I liked about the Cloverfield Paradox?
Yeah.
Where is it? The movie attempts a positive message by showing a crew of people from all over the world working together to reach a common goal to better the Earth. And that's it. Those are the only things that I thought
Until
were,
they
were
all
redeeming in this movie.
until they all succumb to their nationalist roots, where they all
The
are
Russians-
divided and
the
kill each
Russians
other.
and Germans are beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob, nothing in this movie worked for me at all.
You said that, and I was
Nothing.
like, "Wow, that's so pretentious."
Nothing worked. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't particularly well made. You know what? Lame characters.
None of the effects were terrible. There is one actually that I was like, "Wow, that's awful." I'm sorry, I misspoke. Yeah.
But like what
It's
we
the wall
but-
one.
But like what we were saying, this movie is not well executed. It's not particularly like shot in a very like visually interesting way. It's not particularly directed in an intense way that gets you invested. The scenes don't really flow to keep you interested. You're just stuck on this ship and you don't care. Weird things happen. Has to do something with dimensions like merging into one. This guy's full of worms.
What was that about?
So they have this tank of worms, And once they do the particle accelerator, these dimensions merge, and I guess that caused like some physical objects to go inside of Volkov. Was that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why.
Yeah, and also like for whatever reason, the thing that they need to run the ship is inside of him.
Yeah, it's
So
like
they have to cut him open.
Yeah,
Gross.
that was
Bizarre.
Yeah,
You can tell which scenes are reshot and which aren't, because like the scenes that are reshot are not gory.
Like this movie should have kept me guessing, and it didn't.
I had no idea what was happening in it.
Yeah, because the movie was going nowhere. After like an hour, I just checked out because I didn't care. I didn't care what this girl in the wall was doing that they find.
That's true. That was weird. She was like within like wires and stuff. They were going in and out of her body.
Yeah, because once they did,
In and out of her body.
Not like sexually. I mean like
What?
like like see her arm.
I'm
Her
trying
arm's
to
got,
be like a
some
legit
wires.
critic here, all right?
I mean, you're not one.
Are you
Jesus.
downplaying the podcast,
No,
Jacob?
yeah, I am.
You
Look,
disgust
we're
me.
not Stuckman.
Stuckman didn't like this movie.
No, he didn't.
He gave it a C, which is basically an F.
Yeah.
Whoa, C's get degrees.
No, I mean by I mean like Stuckman standards. Because
Because he unapologetically loves everything.
Because he likes most things.
He's like Charlie.
Is the guy that liked the anime?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
I love him.
Alex does love him. She doesn't subscribe to him, but she loves him.
Aw. Whenever he uploads a new video, I'm just like, watch.
I can't wait for Charlie to be at work and be like, "Yo, man, you check out what is this movie called? You check out the
God-
Cloverfield movie, man.
Check out God Particle.
You check out the Cloverfield Paradox, man."
He was like, it was crazy, but it was all right.
Oh god.
It's like, man, it's not as good as Bright. He loved Bright.
Oh, he would. I
Have
didn't
you
see
seen
it.
Have you seen Bright, Alex?
No, I haven't.
It's terrible.
Did you watch it?
No.
It's a stinker.
So that means I'd like it.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't like this movie.
I want to watch it. Do you want to watch it?
Yes.
All right, we'll watch it. I think it's the train wreck thing. That's the train wreck effect. Anyway.
Dude, the music in this movie, Bear McCreary, who also did the music for 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I think he does some music for Walking Dead. There's just so much generic music all the time. Like, like string hits, like, whenever like something intense happens. It's like, there's just music playing all the time, just bad, like, it sounded like royalty-free music. It sounded like you're in like a lobby in Call of Duty waiting for your next match.
That's a Danny Elfman score. That's typical Danny Elfman. It's just like that's how he does it. It's just quick and but then like his big score really hits. Where it's like Spider-Man.
Jacob,
Lost.
do you know what I mean though? When this movie just had like music always playing, because sometimes like you have to know when to like leave music out. That way, that it becomes like dramatic, But if you always just have like bland like Call of Duty lobby music playing, like what the hell?
I think, yeah, I do know what you mean. You mentioning that as like one of your first gripes, I was like, that's not a serious gripe I have with the film. It's just like, I don't know. The music was boring, like whatever. But
it was always playing.
I didn't
That's the
realize
fault of
that.
the musical supervisor then. That's not like a composer's decision.
Okay, fair. Well, they did
Once
they
again,
didn't do
you're
very,
beaten
they
by
did-
Alex.
They didn't do a very good job. Well, no, that's the thing. They did a good job, and they just overdid it. There, that's fair criticism. They did a fine job. It was overdone.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes.
The main girl character, I thought they gave her a very cheap writing like thing.
Are we in spoilers?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Does she die?
No, it's
No.
just it's a very cheap way to make you think this movie has emotional weight.
She probably dies.
Oh,
Her and Daniel Bruhl.
Does he die?
Zemo?
They probably die.
I hope so.
Because
Zemo?
they're on the ship that I tell you crashes through the clouds.
Oh.
And then we'll
Clover
get into
monster?
it. Yeah, Clover. As
which
J.J.
is
Abrams called them.
apparently like bigger than which is apparently like 1/4 of the Earth now.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
enormous.
Yeah, in the movie it's like a massive beast, but
It's
in
like
this one,
it's like the Super 8 monster.
it's above the clouds.
Yeah, and it
That's
makes you wonder, like, how was it? Why was it even under the clouds in the first place?
I couldn't believe that they showed that. I was just kind of like, wow, like, fuck this movie. like what a desperate attempt to get you hyped for the sequel.
So there is going to be another one.
Yeah, it's already been shot. It's called Overlord, and they're gonna repurpose it as a Cloverfield movie and call it something else.
Overlord's the title of an anime.
Oh, really? This
The-
one's
the
about
the
Nazis.
the fifth movie in the franchise is going to be called Fooly Cooly.
FLCL.
Why did they think this is such an ingenious idea? Like, oh, let's buy a movie and rework it and make it bad? I thought my joke about 10 Cloverfield Lane was pretty
It made
funny.
me laugh. Yeah, Alex might not get it, but it made me laugh. Tell the
Alright.
joke. Tell the
Let
stupid
me-
joke.
Let me get some specific names real quick.
Really?
I don't even know their names. Why does it
Well,
matter?
Well, it matters to me.
Ah.
All right, so the Dan Trachtenberg, that's the director's name. He's talking to J.J. Abrams, and he's reading the script for The Cellar, which I don't think he wrote. But anyways, he's like, yeah, we can get it made, but there's gonna have to be some changes. And Dan Trachtenberg's like, some changes, and J.J. Abrams is like, yeah, we're gonna have to add some cartoons to it. Cartoons? Mm-hmm. Like Roger Rabbit? A bit more modern, but cartoons, yes. And he's like, this is a script, a psychological thriller about people in a bunker. And he's like, you're gonna have to add some cartoons. So that's what they did at the end of the movie when the aliens show up. CGI are just glorified cartoons, people. The Hulk and the Avengers, he's a cartoon.
I mean, all of Valerian is.
All of Valerian,
Oh,
all of Avatar.
God.
It's all cartoons, people. They're just modern cartoons. I thought it was funny describing
It was funny.
CGI.
I think it was funny for you to say that. Yes.
Imagine if you actually said, we're gonna have to add some cartoons.
JJ. Man.
Uh,
Wow, my dogs are really barking, and I'm not talking about my feet. I'm talking about the literal dogs.
my dogs are barking too.
Is it your feet though?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This movie sucked. This movie was bad. All right, back to the character. Like, her kids died, a la Manchester by the Sea. The exact same thing.
Yeah.
Died in a fire that was inadvertently caused by a parent.
Yes.
So,
By an energy pod, whatever that is.
you know, an energy pod. They look like they look like Tide
God,
Pods.
These dogs. Do they usually bark this much?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
They
Yes.
do every time
was.
I enter in this house.
I was kidding you. My God.
So she's like, my kids are dead. And then this woman in the wall is like, on our Earth in another dimension, your kids are still alive. Here's a video clip. And it plays like a video of her and her kids, like doing, I don't know, a home movie. Like, why does she have these videos on file?
Wait, this is in the movie?
Yeah, and
Mhm.
she sees it and she starts breaking down crying. And this is when you're sitting there as a viewer and you're just like, oh my God, this movie has so much heart, and you start tearing up too. But no, it's just a cheap writing gimmick.
I thought that the woman in the wall and our black heroine woman, not heroin like black tar heroin. I mean like heroin is in female hero.
I'm bummed out.
Yeah, I know. I know you really love you some heroin. I thought they were going to be lovers.
I don't know what made you think that they were
I
going to
thought
be
the movie
hooking up.
I thought the movie was smarter than it was, is the problem.
And you were wrong.
In my
Correct.
dimension, we're lovers.
That would have been better than what happened.
Oh, forced villain. You get that one.
She's such an obvious villain.
You get that
too.
one shot of her where she's like has this like blank stare, and you're like, oh no.
Why did Volkov's eye twitch?
Prometheus.
What?
What?
The same scenes in Prometheus. The guy has a worm in him, and his eye is messed up in a mirror. the same scene from Prometheus.
Oh, you're right. That's weird.
So this movie is basically like Sunshine, The Mist, Manchester by the Sea, with a smidge of Prometheus in it.
I would say a smidge of Manchester by the Sea. There's not much of it in here. I mean, there is a random scene of Casey Affleck breaking down that was a little out of place in the movie, but it's fine. I ignored it.
That is kind of a similar thing, though. Manchester by the Sea.
It is,
and he inadvertently causes his house to burn down, and his kids die. In this Cloverfield Paradox movie, she does something in her house that inadvertently causes her kids to die in a fire.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
what else is there even to talk about?
For whatever reason, this particle accelerator caused Cloverfield in 2008 to happen, but really, it's just stupid. People are like theorizing into it, and they're like, "Oh, I got all these diagrams drawn out about the Cloververse," and it's like, stop wasting your time right now. There's no grand thing. Like, it's all bullshit. There's no significant connections. 10 Cloverfield Lane, it wasn't connected, but it had like Easter eggs.
Yeah, and
it
that was
just
kind of neat.
Yeah, it was a movie full of Easter eggs, but this movie makes it clear, like, it's bridging the gaps and opening dimensions and gates, and it's so cool and scientific and
okay, hot take here. Multi-dimensional or like multiverse stuff is very cool on paper when you do it and it's unseen. But like when you actually do it, like for real, like this movie is planning to do it, there is no mystique behind these movies now. Oh, it's the multiverse. Whatever. Like, who cares?
Anything can happen.
Leave something to the imagination. Like, I don't know. Once you explain it with something that's basically unexplainable, like it's just like anything's possible because that's how things are.
At the beginning, where the guy's like, the Cloverfield Paradox, it could release monsters into our world.
That was such bad writing.
He literally says like monsters.
Yeah,
and beasts.
He's like demons, monsters, beasts from the sea, and a lady's like, "Did you say demons?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He also said beasts from the sea, you moron.
I'm pretty sure it was Donald Lowe too.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know who
from
that is.
Grounded for Life fame.
I don't know.
Oh.
See, you've seen that show.
I have seen
the
that
dad.
show. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know who that is.
I think he's in that in this movie in like a little screen. That was a okay show. I liked it when I was
liked it.
I watched every episode.
So did I.
About this white trash Staten Island family with their slutty daughter.
Wait, this sounds like
Grounded for Life.
Grounded for Life.
Shameless?
Uncle Eddie.
Ugh.
What a creep.
Who was like the equivalent of Quagmire
Basically.
and the Family Guy.
I know who Quagmire is. Yes, thank you. I felt like you directed that at me.
I didn't.
I
Just
love
said
you.
it in general.
I love you.
Thank you.
All right.
I love you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I love you. I love you guys too.
I love you, Collin. Love you, Collin.
Eh?
Love you, Colin.
Aw.
Wow, so much love here.
Yeah.
Hey, not
If
for
only-
Cloverfield
Yeah,
Paradox,
if
though.
only love went in this movie. It was bad.
Yeah, it was.
I would not watch it on a bus. I wouldn't watch it up here. I wouldn't watch it there. I wouldn't watch it again in my house. I wouldn't watch it with a mouse. I give this movie like maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10.
You texted me like a 1 out of 10, and I was like, "This is not real." Like
He percolated.
Yeah,
I get
hyper. Percolated.
I get
on the phone.
hyper when I see a bad movie.
You do.
I'm
You
like,
send
it
out a
fucking-
lot of Snapchats.
I'm like, it fucking sucks. It sucks. Fuck.
Oh,
And
I
it
should
wasn't
send you
good.
some of my favorite movies.
Oh God.
What?
Said I should
Starting
send
with
you
The
some
Mirror
of
Has
my
Two
favorite
Faces.
movies.
I'll watch it if you
You'll
want
hate
us to review it on the pod.
I don't know if I could take the hurt.
Of that it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know if I could take it.
I mean, you'd have to watch it with us. Because that way we can all make fun of it together. And
A
just be like,
commentary.
That's so ridiculous. Oh, that'd be fun to do a Mirror Has Two Faces commentary.
Yes.
There's literally no demand for it.
I know.
No one wants it.
I know.
Who cares though? There's no demand for this podcast.
The Mirror Has Two Faces. Comic tale about the relationship between a funny colleague lecturer specializing in romantic literature and a fellow professor who wants a platonic friendship with an intelligent woman. guy is like that. I'm just looking for a platonic relationship. Nothing romantic.
He
Is that Jeff
Who are
Bridges?
they?
Jeff Bridges.
Who are they? Mulder and Scully?
Who are the what?
From the X-Files.
Oh,
Jesus. We call this a pop culture podcast and you don't even know Mulder and Scully?
No,
However,
I don't care about the X-Files.
She begins to long for more, and they soon find their goal of a union based on celibacy will be difficult to achieve. This movie sounds riveting.
It is.
It won a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress.
Seriously?
For who?
What?
Lauren Bacall,
Lauren Bacall?
I guess. Barbara Streisand would have been the lead.
She directed it too.
She did.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Yentl?
Mm-mm.
That has Barbara Streisand. I don't know what it's about, but I just thought it had a funny name. Yentl.
I love that you said that. All right. Well, it's 4:22. Alex,
I'm gonna be late for work.
you can leave now if you want,
I have to change my clothes.
but at work though.
No.
Hey,
Okay.
if they come up to you and they're like, why the fuck are you late?
Who
Just
would
be
ever
like,
say that? Who would ever
Jen.
say that? Like Jim would
Jen.
never say that.
Why the
Jen.
fuck are you late to work, Miss Garcia?
Relax.
Just be like, oh, I was doing a podcast. Snyder-Collin style. Get off my back. And that's all you need to say.
You're right. I got it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about with Cloverfield?
No, I hated it.
It's great. It was
Me
a great movie.
Alex
Well,
loved
we're
it.
glad you loved it. It
Collin-
really expanded your mind with its deep sci-fi concepts that could work much better in like a movie directed by like Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah. One more thing I'm gonna say, and then we're gonna end this podcast once and for all.
Yeah.
I just think that it makes any new entry into this universe absolutely uninteresting because
Yeah.
it explains the monsters and where they came from, and in a really dumb way. Because it says, what does it say? The accelerator is 1,000 times more powerful than any ever built. Every time they test it, this is actual dialogue from the movie.
Oh, from the
Every time they, yes, this is
from
from
the
Father,
author,
yes.
the author scene.
Yes. Every time they test it, they risk ripping open the membrane of space-time, smashing together multiple dimensions, shattering reality, and not just on that station, everywhere. This experiment could unleash chaos the likes of which we have never seen. Monsters, demons, beasts from the sea, and not just here and now, in the past, in the future, in other dimensions. Everything's explained. Nothing is left to your imagination. Why did it happen? Why did that ever... What?
So particle accelerator caused a satellite to fall in the ocean that hit a monster on the head and it opened its eyes. And
I
was
don't think
like,
that's
huh?
real. I think the
What?
Cloverfield monsters just came from another dimension. This is stupid. Everything's stupid. We
It
don't
is
need to talk about this
stupid, and
anymore.
that's the thing. It's my love-hate relationship with Cloverfield. They all have really cool ideas. The first two, pretty decent movies. They have issues in the third act. This movie just sucked.
Yep.
Not impressed by it.
Yep.
I wasn't riveted. It didn't leave me thinking. Like, like fucking The Twilight Zone could have done this better in the 60s.
All right. Well, that's it for Cloverfield, and that's it for this podcast. Where can we find you, Alex?
My address is...
Oh, God.
Oh, no. No.
Once you say it, it's on there.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
Anyway, where can we find you?
I mean, I have an Instagram.
What is it?
I think it's Alex Rose 61, but with 2 X's. Oh my gosh, scandalous!
So it's like
Yes,
Alex
very.
Rose
Rose
61.
Yeah.
Isn't that your middle name?
Yes.
Why would you?
Why wouldn't I know that?
Colin's middle name is Kent.
See?
I know his.
Yeah, we're buddies.
Do you guys know mine? You don't have to say it on the podcast because this is going out on the internet.
Is it David?
No.
Sam?
No.
Thomas?
No.
Bob?
No.
Timmy?
What?
Tim? Oh, it's Corbin.
Thank you. I asked you not to say it, and you did it anyway.
It's Corbin. How could I forget?
Thanks, Collin. All right. Well, Collin, where can we find you?
You can add me on Facebook.
All right,
and
well,
we'll be Facebook friends, and you can send me a message.
Sweet.
Of
All
how
right,
much you
great.
love Cloverfield.
Yep. Do it, please. Please send Collin all of your Cloverfield.
Tell me
opinions.
why I'm wrong.
Please do.
Because like other people are like, I liked the movie.
I'm on Twitter at Jacob's Wetsuit. I'm also on Instagram at that same thing. Whatever it's called. Hashtag? I don't know. You can email the show at fppcreative.com. We will answer any question you send us. You may have noticed we didn't answer any questions this week or any other week because we don't
have any. That's
Yeah.
why.
I'll start sending questions.
Please do.
Aw,
Okay.
you should.
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
We'll just have you back on the show to answer them. And Collin will think of more quick questions to answer you.
Okay.
In
Batman
record
or
time.
Superman? Here we go.
Really? Me too. But
Yes,
really?
me three.
Yeah.
Uh,
Who would choose Superman?
I guess like
Daniel Day-Lewis would choose Superman.
you'd be like
I hate that guy.
play Superman. But wait, we didn't talk about the Han Solo trailer. That's because stay tuned for the Snyder-Collin show.
Which is on YouTube.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that.
And it's on Netflix right now.
Just dropped, everyone. Brilliant marketing.
Yep.
Ava DuVernay called this movie a game changer because of its diverse cast, black director, and lack of marketing.
It is a game changer in that it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And on that note, we will end the show. Thank you guys for listening. Alex, thank you for being on this week.
Thanks for having me.
It was great having you.
It was fun.
We'll have you on again,
Oh, cool.
of course. I love you.
Love you too.
I love you, Collin.
I love you. I love everyone.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.